good, Gary. No doubt about that. Starting lineups for Game 1 of the Veterans Classic. Houston loaded Final Four level talent. State freshman Jarace Walker, a 5-star recruit, preseason American Conference Rookie of the Year. For St. Joe's, keep an eye on Eric Reynolds, the second preseason third-team All-A-10. He told us yesterday during practice the Hawks can compete tonight by handling the Houston pressure and not allowing too many second-chance points for head coach Billy Lang. Returning to Annapolis tonight, former Navy head coach. He thinks Ejike Obinna has got to take advantage of his minutes, and they've got to win the rebounding game lap or at least be close. He thinks if they're -5, -6 on the glass, they've got a chance tonight.
That would be doing really well, because one thing about Kelvin Sampson's team, they have historically been one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country. And as I said in the open, number 3 in offensive rebound percentage. You know, I just wanted to add to what Gary said. I think the sign of a great team is a team that can, I know we talked about it when they play well, they can win when they play poorly. And great teams win when they played awful against Villanova in the Elite Eight, and they were in a tie game with 2 minutes ago. They shot 28% and had a chance to win that game. That's what great coaches and that's what great programs do. They have a chance to win even when they don't play well.
Ejike Obinna head-to-head with J'Wan Roberts. Redshirt junior from St. Thomas, the Virgin Islands, jumps us up. And the 9th annual Veterans Classic underway from Annapolis.
And one thing you'll always see from Kelvin Sampson, you're going to see straight man-to-man. They also have a lot of depth, a couple of freshmen this year that are very talented. So you're going to see some new guys play, but this 5 that's out there now, except for Jarace Walker, they've all played.
Reynolds, the second 10 to shoot. First possession of the season for the Hawks. Trying to get that down low to the big man, Edge Obinna, as they call him, in Philly. And it's turned over. Here comes Marcus Sasser and Houston.
And Houston's a team that forces 14. They forced 14 turnovers a game last year, so that's going to be another one of the keys for St. Joe's. Don't give them live basket turnovers, live ball turnovers.
Jamal Shead, top of the key, 9 points, 9 assists. Opener Monday against Northern Colorado. Roberts for Shead. Sasser, 10 on the timer. From the elbow. Back on a miss. Second chance points. Well, J'Wan Roberts clicks. Something Billy Lang told us would be so important in this game tonight.
Yeah, you got to put a body on everybody on this team because they're so athletic, they're so long.
Two-man game. Edge Obinna, the kick out. Reynolds the second to miss. Early presence from Roberts.
Jamal Shead closed in on that shooter so quickly. He was open initially, but Shead got there so quick, was able to contest it.
Deep corner 3. There's Walker. 5-star recruit. 8 points, 12 rebounds in his Cougar debut. Greer the third of the end. Way short on 3. A rush shot early in the shot clock cycle for the Hawks.
And that's what St. Joe's likes to do is 45% of their shots last year were from the three-point line. So they're one of the highest volume three-point shooting teams in the country.
Here's Shead. Too strong on a 3 this time. Obinna handle the rebound. Comes away to Greer the third. Foul first on the way to the basket.
Jarace Walker, first team McDonald's All-American. He didn't make a shot against Northern Colorado, but he decided he was going to start out there very open. He is a kid who can make that shot.
Foul's call on Marcus Sasser, coach. Walker, the 10th ranked player in the nation last year, high school recruiting. Although if you talk to Kelvin Sampson, he doesn't want to hear about, what did he say, the slobber knockers today? He used that word a lot.
He did use that word a lot.
Reynolds the second, who ranked recruits. How about Obinna? Edge Obinna with a hammer follow for St. Joe's on the other end. There's the freshman Walker. He's got 5 early points.
I mean, Jarace Walker that time all by himself. You got to get back quickly.
Court speed. Kelvin Sampson calls Walker one of the most coachable players he's ever been around. That says a lot. Brown, tough shot in traffic, and Walker has to lose change. Here's Sasser in the corner for 3. You bet.
I think they need a timeout. I don't like what St. Joe's has done offensively in the half court. They got to be a little bit more patient. One thing about Houston, they're not a fast-playing team. That was a good move. You think about, you look at this, And it's probably not going to be considered a fast break basket. Well, that one is for sure. But the three-point shot by Sasser in the corner, that's probably not considered a fast break point, but that's a fast break point. You got to get back, and if you don't locate him, who's one of the best shooters in the nation, you're going to have a big problem in that corner.
Brown on the free throw line. Foul a moment ago by Tremar Mark. First personal on Mark, and one more free throw here for Cameron Brown, senior guard, team captain. 22 points against Widener. 2 exhibition games for the Hawks. They've not played a regular season game. Not a lane violation here. Looks like Kacper Kłacik from Poland was in early for St. Joe.
And they beat a very good Towson team in their first exhibition game. Towson's a favorite to win the Colonial Conference, but obviously this is a step up in class when you're talking about a team that potentially could win a national title.
Kelvin Sampson talked about potential with us today at the shoot-around. He thinks the pieces are there to be really good, but it's only November. A long way to go. He said, well, in a month I'll learn more about my team. In January I'll know even more, but I like what I see early. Here's Mark, the lefty. Smooth.
That's the best way to play. I mean, this perimeter game, Shed, Sasser, that's as good as you're going to find in the whole country, no doubt about it.
Matt Jarris Walker, freshman standout. Houston picked to win the American Conference. They've done that 3 years in a row. Brown thinking 3. Nice answer for the Hawks.
And that's not his strength. Cameron Brown, a 30% career three-point shooter, but boy, they're going to need some threes. This is what they do. They're going to need threes against Houston.
Sasser other end. Quick trigger. Front iron, top of the backboard.
Boy, they're tough to keep off the glass. I mean, they get a hand on every ball.
Unscripted points, as Kelvin Sampson told us about practice. And Reynolds lost that one out of bounds. Turnover in Annapolis, back to number 3 Houston. With the Rock when we return to Navy.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Jeep. There's only one. And by AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
Such a great aspect of this doubleheader. Surrounding events here on the yard in Annapolis. Yesterday, players, coaches from the 3 visiting programs saw what it's like to be a midshipman, went to the planes, helicopter tour, we saw that. Ship simulator on an actual Navy vessel. Met with some of the great men and women of our military. Once in a lifetime experience. Billy Lang knows about that from the coach here. Long-time former Patriot League Coach of the Year at Navy. His first game back as a head coach in Annapolis, and he seemed a little stressed about that, Coach, right?
Yeah, I mean, and he'd only been back here once before with his son when he was coming back from an AAU tournament, so this is the most time that he has spent here since he left here as a coach. And when he coached here, he was the youngest Division I coach in the country. He was 32 years old in his first year.
Teams had lunch yesterday at King Hall with the entire brigade of midshipmen. About 20 minutes, that's all you're allowed here at Navy. Time management is key for the midshipmen. Walker can't hit from 10, right of the lane. Who's changed, who's got it? Shed, the tie-up. Cougars keep it. Let's go back to Gary.
Well, it's interesting, when we were talking to Billy earlier today, he said that we agreed to play this game. He thought that maybe, just maybe, some of these Houston players would remain in the NBA draft. But then Marcus Sasser comes back, Jamal Shead comes back, and he knew that he was up against it at that point.
Yeah, he went from having a tough game to like, wow, really, really tough game.
Near impossible game, Lap. Let's just face it.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough tonight.
You play young, you're a young team, which Billy has, a young team, and you come play these guys. That's seasoned team. You know, we talked about their perimeter and how good it is. Tremar Mark and Shed and Sasser. When you got upperclassmen running the show and you have 3 guys on the perimeter like that, and then you have all these other guys around the glass, it'll be tough.
Perspiration on the court here. We'll get this all fixed up. Reggie Chaney, senior forward, transfer from Arkansas, is on the court for the first time for Houston.
And he's another guy who played last year a lot, comes off the bench, a lot of energy all over the glass.
Senior from Tulsa, 2 years at Arkansas, 35 games, 28 starts. Well, the ball kids getting it done here early. They're tested. It's the opener.
You know, the one thing, though, Dave, that St. Joe's has to be careful of, they've already given up 7 points on 4 turnovers in 4 minutes. That has to stop. make Houston play a half-court game. Easier said than done.
10 shoot for the lefty Mark. He is fouled and will shoot 2, says Pat Driscoll, one of the 3 on-court officials here tonight. One run for Houston and Kelvin Sampson, who just got a 700th win overall and 200th at Houston on Monday against Northern Colorado. Look at the dominance and 2021 Final Four. Last year, if they didn't shoot 1 of 20 against one of your former stops, Villanova, in Elite 8, they're going to the Final Four.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And they lose 2 of their best players. I mean, the job that Kelvin Sampson did last year, who loses 2 of their best players in December and ends up in the Elite 8, losing to a team that was so good and they did a great job of defending Villanova in that game. So, I mean, he did an unbelievable job last year.
Well, Ed Jobina does it all, including the mop-up work here. Sometimes you just got to take over. The young kids doing the best they can here in Annapolis. All right, free throws for Tremont Mark, junior from Dickinson, Texas. Shoulder surgery last year. December 22nd and 23rd, as Kelvin Sampson told us, Coach, were pretty dark days for the Cougars last year.
Well, I thought it was a pretty funny story. Ironic what he told us. He said the trainer called him, and he said, the trainer said, what would be the worst news I can give you about the team? He says, I don't know, but you're about to give it to me.
And what was it?
Marcus Sasser was out for the year.
Broken bone in his foot, out for the year. The day after Mark had his shoulder surgery, also out for the year. Remarkable season without those stars.
It was funny when he said, well, I don't know, but you're about to give it to me, I'm sure.
Miss from Reynolds. Mark looking good now with a repaired shoulder. Floater, wow, look at Walker. 7 early points for the high school All-American. Kelvin Sampson very impressed with his first game as Cougar. Talk about the shooting woes. Winborn, the freshman, way off. Mark is running. Shedd gathers. Kick out for Sasser. Free for 3. Not this time. Short. Kept the lead by Mark. And play for a fresh 20. Sasser in the corner. Missed this time. Walker from long range. Reynolds the second. One-on-one with the defender, Shedd, and a nice layup for Reynolds. The second, his first bucket of the night.
And I was talking to Bobby Gonzalez, who's here, who coached many years at Manhattan and Seton Hall. Anyway, he's a scout for the Pistons, and he told me, he said, you know, Eric Reynolds, the guy we're going to keep our eye on. This kid's got a chance.
Close yesterday, big fan of Steph Curry. Eric believed as a team captain that his Hawks have a chance tonight. Turnovers early, that's problematic. Second chance points also an issue. Shedd, too strong. And a rebound for Winborn, the freshman. 3-star high school recruit. And the top point guard recruit here in the state of Maryland. That's get pass stolen by Shedd. That's called reading, stealing, and finishing.
You know, I understand that the Hawks want to push the ball up to see if they get something easy in transition before that defense is set up. But if you don't have something, now you got to just pull it out. These turnovers and these points off turnovers are absolutely killing you.
Fantastic year for Shedd, assists last year. How about that steal and go? Knocked out of bounds by Sasser. Hawks 13 to shoot on this possession.
But you're going to see here, I mean, this is just a really poor pass. I mean, you look at, I mean, Shedd was right there. Obina should never have thrown that pass.
Obina out for now, Coach. Sure Fleming thought he was checking out, but he's back on the court here for St. Joe's. Kacper Kłacik, the sophomore who's represented Poland, several international events. U18, U16 is back on the court for the Hawks. Everyone's got to have a big night, including Reynolds the second. Lines up a 3, but it's way off. Rebound for Chaney. Foul called. Fleming.
You know, it's one thing to look at a team's plays and you game plan how to stop their plays. But the thing about Houston is, how do you stop them from playing hard? You can't control that if you're the other team. You just got to hope that they give a subpar effort, which they don't do very often. That's one of the things. They have a culture there of playing hard defensively every single day.
Hawks 1 of 7 from beyond the arc. That's got to change too. If this script's going to get flipped, Roberts on the baseline. That looks good. Smooth. Career high 6 field goals made in the easy win. 83-36 Monday in Houston against Northern Colorado. Quachik baseline and blocked. Fleming loose change for 2.
You know, St. Joe's having trouble running half-court offense and getting anything at all that looks good. I mean, they got an opportunistic basket there, but they got to try and get something working for themselves in the half-court.
Ramon Walker rattles out a 3.
That gets every rebound.
Bench. Yep. Second chance points. What do we say? Cheney creates a fresh 20. 8 minutes into our first half. Sasser floats and a whistle and a foul.
Well, they've got all kinds of talent and all kinds of guys. And you throw Roberts in there on the baseline. A lot of weapons. Cougars, 20-9.
Looks like she's having fun here tonight at Navy. Tonight, 10:30 Eastern. Don't miss your chance to catch some gridiron gameplay. Bring you a Mountain West matchup between Fresno State and UNLV. Action kicks off at 10:30 Eastern here on CBS Sports Network. 20-9, a good start, Steve Lappas, for third-ranked Houston, an Elite 8 team a year ago. And Jarace Walker, as advertised early.
Boy, this guy, 3 for 14 in his first game against Northern Colorado, but Kelvin Sampson loves this kid. He was a first-team McDonald's All-American. He obviously is a big-time talent. He's on the Karl Malone list for the top power forwards in the country as a freshman, so this kid could be really special.
Out of New Freedom, Pennsylvania, preseason American Conference Rookie of the Year. I thought it was interesting, Kelvin Sampson telling us the day lap about recruiting experts, fan bases who get so high on players based on what they read. He said, look, Jarace Walker's going to be great. He's not great yet, but he will be. Let's just develop him before we send him off to the NBA.
Well, the lucky thing for Kelvin Sampson is they're surrounding Jarace Walker with an extremely experienced team, so he doesn't even have to. They can win without him playing well. When you need a freshman to play well to win a national championship or to get to a Final Four, you never know what's going to happen. But if he's going to be one of the pieces, and now he's going to learn from those older guys, that's a whole different story. So this is a perfect place for kids like that to come, learn how to win.
Sasser hits 2, foul before the break. Preseason American Conference Player of the Year. First team All-American. He had 17 points a game before he broke his foot last year and was out for the season. Winborn thinking 3. Freshman misfires. Long rebound. Cheney runs the floor. And hammers! Reggie Cheney! Up and away. Timeout Billy Lang in St. Joe's. Oh, baby! Elevation. Rim rocking dunk from Reggie Cheney.
Well, I'll tell you what, this defense is all over the place, and they're so athletic. They get out in transition so quickly, and this is one heck of a dunk by Cheney. I mean, this team's got a whole lot of weapons. I mean, we talked a lot about their perimeter guys, which is the strength of the team, but these big kids, let me tell you something.
Posterizes Kacper Quachik, coach. That was something. Fast break points, 9-2 for the Cougs here. And a big lead against St. Joe's in the Atlantic 10. Hawks' first game of the year. Cougs' second game of the season.
And they got a kid on the bench, Javier, who's a sophomore, Javier French. So I think, I was watching this. Here's another steal.
Here's Sasser. There's a dunk.
Yeah, this is getting bad. And the problem is, it's just they're turning them over left and right. We're talking about 13 points off turnovers after 8 minutes.
Reynolds the second is fouled. 6 Hawk turnovers and none for Houston.
Well, you're going to see right here, they love to get double people, and they know how to step up into the passing lane. When they go to trap somebody on the sideline or in the short corner, that guy on top knows to step inside that passing lane. That was a great job there.
Roberts' first foul for Houston. Reynolds the second. He's got one more free throw here. 12 points a game a year ago. Shot 49% from the field. 29 starts. Is a big key to the Hawks trying to climb what now is a really loaded A10 lap with the addition of Loyola Chicago. 15 teams.
Yeah, it's really, this is a big year for the A10. This is a tall order for St. Joe's tonight, but you have a game on Tuesday that's a huge game. St. Louis and Memphis. At St. Louis, two really good teams. Those are the kind of wins the Atlantic 10's got to get if they're going to get multiple teams into the NCAA tournament.
Going to be fun. Steele Reynolds a second. They're taking right back and a foul. Upending Reggie Chaney was Eric Reynolds, the second, the sophomore of St. Joe's.
Yeah, that's clearly a foul.
And the ball kids are back up. Squeegee time. They've been busy. Lots of action for the ball kids tonight.
Yeah.
Early.
They've been busy.
Well, first of all, it's going to be a great season on CBS Sports Network. We start tonight. We finish in March. And on CBS Sports, as Jim Nantz so eloquently said at the top of the broadcast, his beloved alma mater, Houston, looking pretty good here in the early going. This time from Arsenos into the game off the Cougar bench.
Look how fast they get back in transition. It looked like St. Joe's had a semi-break, but Houston just got back so quickly.
Here the third, trying to feed. Obina, and a foul called down low as he tried to gather that in the low block. First foul on Reggie Chaney, senior from Tulsa. First game of the year for St. Joe's, possession by possession. We'll build a little bit here on what they hope is a better season after winning 11 games a year ago. Winborn way off on the free throw line, not close.
They just speed you up. They take you out of your game. When you see St. Joe's, they're playing kind of helter-skelter on offense now. That's not because of them. It's because of what Houston is doing to them, making them helter-skelter.
Defense, rebounding, take care of the ball. Three pillars of a lot of programs. It's not new when you hear Kelvin Sampson say it, but now we're seeing it, Steve, in action in front of us. Here at courtside, rebound for Quachi.
Hey, one thing, defense travels.
Off a foot out of bounds, turnover again by the Hawks.
I mean, they love trapping. When they throw this pass into the short corner, this is where they kill you because they love doubling down here. And now everybody's like looking for the ball, looking for steal. They're reading the eyes of the passer, stepping up. And look how everybody reacts. And they end up shooting the ball off the backboard.
We've been here a couple days. We watched practice yesterday, and they go hard. And today at the shooting range, Kelvin Sampson, a couple guys running some suicides. You saw that. You made the comment when the coach came over.
I mean, you know, it's walkthrough, and he was killing them.
No walking going on with the Cougars today.
And I like
their attention.
I like St. Joe's trying a little bit of matchup zone. Maybe get them standing around a little bit because they're tough. They're so athletic. Now, the hard part about this defense, you got to rebound, and it's hard to rebound out of this defense.
Mark too strong. Lefty three, top of the key. And push foul on Arseno, the freshman from Beaumont, Texas. Picks up his first. 17 minutes for Terrence Arseno against Northern Colorado. A lot of guys got in a huge win. 83-36 we told you about.
Hit 36. That's the big number.
These guys are back out. Others assisting. It's the most court time I've ever seen from ball kids this early in the game.
I'm gonna buy some stock in Swiffer. Is that a Swifter or Swiffer, whatever it's called?
We got a lot of those at our house, all our kids and pets, man. Kitchen floor, never clean. 3 minutes, no field goals for St. Joe's. That's got to change in this possession. See if they can do a little better in the half court.
They got to get a good shot off.
Hasn't happened really very often tonight. Greer the third. From the free throw line. Short this time. Long rebound. Who's hustling? Shad again. Rebound, run out. Shad got two more.
This guy is an attacker.
Greer the third on the red. Had it blocked. Roberts, the swat. Arsenault and Shea. Roberts trails. Athleticism, Steve, the ball movement. Crisp.
Deep experience.
Numbers for Shed were remarkable last year. 221 assists, most since Houston legend Reed Gettis. Remember him from Fly Slamma Jamma?
Yeah.
Had 309 assists back in 83-84. Fifth all-time single season for last year, and Shed with the Dimes.
I mean, assist to turnover ratio, tremendous. Assists per game, tremendous. This is what you call a leader on the floor. You know, he's one of the lead point guards in the country. But it's funny you mentioned Reed Gettis. I believe Reed Gettis did the game the other day against Northern Colorado.
Big hero. You look up his stats, I mean, wow.
He was on some pretty good teams.
Hakeem, Clyde the Glide, not bad.
Let me tell you this, Kelvin Sampson's been one of the great building jobs in the country. I did a game there 10 years ago. I don't know if there were 50 people in the stands. And I even told the people at CBS, yeah, I don't know if we should broadcast games. It's awful. And now, forget about it.
Number 3 in the country. Roberts gets the roll. Strong low post move. Now they're selling out every night. Coleman on the end, thinking 3. That's not close. Tie up this time, the Hawks have it.
I mean, if you ask me to pick 5 teams that if you have an inexperienced team you don't want to play, this one would have been at the top of my list coming into the game, to tell you the truth. And so this is not, we said it from the beginning, that's a terrible pass. It's a telegraph pass. You got to fake that pass. Lynn Greer just threw it right up to where he was looking.
8 turnovers for the Hawks. Walker the steal. Wachik nearly had the steal right back for the Hawks. 19 to shoot. Roberts. St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. On the baseline, Arceno looks good. Hawks 4-16 from the field. 1 of 9 from 3. Not the recipe if you're going to try to upset the third-ranked team in the country. That does not change. A long miss from Cameron Brown, the senior guard.
Well, the thing about them is they really do go 10 deep, and when you want to play with that kind of intensity for 40 minutes, it's a lot easier to do with a lot of guys.
Walker feeds. Jamal Marquez, 2 more. Another Houston lefty. Entry pass for the Deuce.
You know, when you have a guy like Jamal Shed leading the way, as tough as they come, great finish here. The Cougars up big.
Thank you for the influence you've had on so many people and the lives that you've touched of people that didn't even go into the military.
To all our veterans, on behalf of St. Joseph's University and our St. Joseph's basketball program, thank you. We have great respect for your courage and your bravery and your servant leadership to us. Thank you very much.
Such a cool experience. Willie Lang, former head coach here at Navy, knows what the midshipmen are all about. And we thank all the veterans who have served, who are serving now to protect our nation's freedom. Saw Navy SEAL speech last night after a fantastic dinner at the superintendent's house. Vice Admiral Sean Buck is the acting superintendent here on the yard in Annapolis. What a cool experience, and the food was fantastic.
Yeah, that's always a great night when the coaches get the sabers. Really great experience for everybody, coaches and players.
Experience here, lap pretty good in the court for number 3 Houston. They are delivering. Winborn drives. Can't click on the layup. Tough follow, missed down low. Fleming the battle. Coleman trying forward in the corner along with Shed. And right in front of Kelvin Sampson.
I think Winborn is going to be a very good player for St. Joe's. He's a freshman. He had 22 points against Towson. Can shoot the ball. I think he's going to be a good one.
Hawks keep it. 20 to shoot. Out of bounds. Charles Coleman, 7-foot center, transfer from ECU. Same conference Houston plays in, at least for now. Foul call. Cougars off to the Big 12 next year. Now, that is going to be a loaded Big 12 because Oklahoma and Texas don't go to the SEC for a couple years.
And, you know, Kansas, and let's face it, the Big 12 arguably has been the best basketball league in the last 5 years. Now, I mean, there's other good leagues too, obviously the Big East, ACC, but the last 5 years consistently, the Big 12 has been the best team in terms of percentage of teams getting into the NCAA tournament, so they're only going to get better.
UCF, Cincinnati, Houston, BYU going next year. Talk of Gonzaga going as well down the road. That's interesting. Winborn up top, and a foul call. Offensive foul this time off the ball against St. Joe's. A lot of great teams from Texas.
I mean, Baylor's still got Adam Flagler, Flo Thamba. They really are still a really, really good team. Number 5, Texas, we know. Chris Beard, what he's got going. Marcus Carr back for another year. A lot of teams in Texas want to get to Houston.
Long range miss this time for Mark. On a back iron, deep corner 3. Rebound for Rasheer Fleming.
I think Fleming's going to be a good player, so I like the 2 freshmen that they had.
Winborn on the bounce, out of bounds here. And the baseline inbounds play for St. Joe's. Now, Billy Lang told us yesterday, the buildup, because they didn't have a regular season game lap leading up to this one, the 2 exhibition games we talked about, Towson and Widener. So the buildup to Houston has been going on all summer long. And the guys have been talking about it all through the fall, all through the preseason workouts. Now it's here.
It's here. It's definitely here.
But he said he was kind of relieved it arrived, you know, because you want to play it and move on to the rest of your schedule. Wow, that was the second. That looks smooth. That's his promise for St. Joe.
Yeah, this kid averaged 14 points a game in the Atlantic 10. He was their leading scorer. So as the year went on, last year he was a freshman. He got better and better. They're looking for big things from him.
4-time A-10 Rookie of the Week last season. He said we're going to learn a lot about our team tonight against the number 3 team in the country, and I think they have so far. Mark passing this time, the long-range shot from Walker.
You know, the zone was a good move by Billy Lang. It kind of simmered things down at least a little bit, as long as they keep rebounding out of it.
Reynolds' second snap, the 5-minute scoreless streak. On the bucket for St. Joe's, much needed. CBS Sports embraces authentic stories. Share yours at #MyNativeStory. Lynn Greer III, sophomore guard, Dayton transfer. 15 points against Widener at the exhibition at Hagan Arena on Hawk Hill for St. Joe's. He's back in.
His dad gave me a couple of bad nights, I can tell you that.
Good one.
Second leading scorer in the history of Temple.
Fantastic player.
Fantastic player. They've had a lot of good ones.
Fleming to the free throw line. And Rasheer, freshman from Camden, New Jersey, can't hit the free throw. Shed out of the rim. 3 rattles out, everything to go down. Rebound for Brown. Senior guard Lowell, Maryland.
They close out so fast on shooters. You think the guy's going to be open, and then they're there.
Brown had blocks. Case in point, great defense. The good 1-2 down low for 2. Cameron Brown's got a second field goal of the game for St. Joe's. We got a timeout. Back in 30 seconds to Annapolis, Maryland.
In my world, numbers are everything. But my most important stat, my sleep quality. It is vital to my mental, emotional, and physical performance. The new Climate 360 Smart Bed actively cools, warms, then effortlessly responds to me. Smart sleepers get 28 minutes more restful sleep a night. And that means I'm at my best for me, my team, and you. And all I have to do is get game-changing sleep, only from Sleep Number.
Third-ranked Houston, first half here in Annapolis. A great run in 2021 for Houston Lap. They made their first Final Four since '84. Last year, Elite 8, and a chance to go back this year in Houston, Texas. It'll be special for Kelvin Sampson and the Cougs, right?
Yeah, I mean, pretty hard to do. It doesn't happen that often, as you can see here, but you know, you got a number of teams, as we pointed out in Texas, that are top 25 teams that have a chance, but to go in their own city and do it, that's really something. That's not just your home state. That's around the corner.
beat UAB, Illinois, Arizona. And Kelvin Sampson told us today he thought they were better than all those teams heading in. Thought they were better than Villanova, but had that historically poor shooting day. 1 of 20 from 3 in San Antonio with kind of a home court advantage in the Elite Eight. And ended up losing to Jay Wright and the Wildcats.
I mean, how many teams can play a team as good as Villanova, shoot 28% and have a chance to win? That's like impossible. But both those teams, those programs were like that. They could play bad and win.
2 on the timer. Sasser not this time from long range.
And that's why what Kelvin Sampson said, we got a fast break by St. Joe's here, but Houston getting back quickly. That's why what Kelvin Sampson said, he said, you know, when you talk about national championships, good shot there.
Rasheer Fleming for 3.
I like him. He's going to be a good player, this kid. But Kelvin Sampson said, yeah, you could be good enough to win a national championship. In the end, you got to have some luck to win a national championship. So there's a lot of teams that are good enough to win it. Whether you win it or not, you got to get some breaks in the end.
And you got to play well. And they didn't against Nova.
Yeah, exactly.
Bottom line. They matched up well. But did not execute when they needed it most. Shed 5 on the timer. Needs a bailout. Gets it from Walker. Wow. Jarace Walker's second 3. All right, that guy's got range.
He's got range.
Not just in the paint. He can stand out to shooting 3. He's got a couple triples already. And you see the 5-star coming out from Jarace Walker. That's impressive. Bump foul as Brown tries to get into the lane.
I like Fleming. This kid's 6'8". Going to be a good one, I think. Trying to crawl back down 19.
Jarace Walker, 10 points. 5-star freshman, been outstanding so far for Houston. Coming up on AT&T at the half. Join Brent Stover, Jarace Walker, Pete Gillen, John Rothstein for a look around college basketball, plus first half highlights and stats all coming your way on AT&T at the half as we tip off a great season of college basketball on CBS Sports Network. And Lap, defense great for Houston here.
Yeah, I mean, they bring this all the time, and they're so long, they're so athletic, and they don't really come out and press you full court or anything with their half-court defense. I can imagine how the St. Joseph kids feel. They feel like there's not 5 guys out there. It feels like there's 10 guys out there in the half-court guarding because of their length, their athleticism, the way they play so hard, and the way they understand it. Look at this, 9 turnovers, 15 points off those turnovers.
Gary, what do you have?
Have been interesting with Kelvin Sampson. He's unhappy with the number of 3-pointers his team has taken. They've taken 30 shots in this game, 15 of them from beyond the arc. He looked at his players and said, you're taking the 3 so often because you're wide open. Do you think there's maybe a reason you're wide open? Let's get back to playing the way we play. We'll see if they respond.
All right. That's great stuff. What do you think, Larry?
I mean, last year they averaged 8 make threes a game, so this is a solid 3-point shooting team. But, you know, I agree with him. He doesn't want to make a living on that. Look for something a little bit better. And obviously, Jarace Walker's a guy that tested. He was 3 for 14 in his first game. He didn't make a 3-point shot. Now he's made a couple in this game already.
1-on-1, Cameron Brown, one more free throw here. That senior guard is St. Joe's. And he's got 2. 3-point shooting, by the way, to your point, 3 of 15 for Houston, 2 of 11 for the Hawks so far in the first half.
But really, once they went to this zone, it's really made Houston stay outside and shoot perimeter jumpers. So it's really accomplished what they need to, because bottom line is you got to make them stand around and make them shoot threes and just hope you can get enough rebounds.
Arsenal back in. 10 to shoot. Shed. Kick out for Walker. Short on a 3. Roberts cleans up.
Good defense. You do everything you need to do, but you got to finish that defensive stand with a rebound.
8 points for Roberts. 4 of 5 shooting. They got that post for Houston here. Battle. Chaney. Rebound. Here comes the ball. Shed. Pace slowed. Chaney trails and shoots 2 free throws. Wanted a chance for a 3-point play. Cameron Brown is shaken up here for St. Joe's.
Oh, right there, yep.
Minute second foul. And we'll head to the St. Joe's bench next to Billy Lang for now.
And Houston, they did a great job that time. The ball went into the low post. They dove their other big, Chaney, and nobody from St. Joe's picked them up. So this is a very well-schooled team. Ball goes into the low post. Nobody stands around. They dive to the basket. Keep moving.
Back to the ball, boys. Seen a lot of action here in the first half in Annapolis. Chaney to the free throw line. I mentioned the Arkansas transfer. So, Lap, when you look at this team, you think about the All-Americans. We know about Sasser and Shedd being these huge names. You know about Jarace Walker as the 5-star freshman. How about a guy like Chaney and the other pieces? Do you think they've got enough for a great run again?
Oh, yeah, they definitely have enough because, they have everybody guards. And then you got a guy like Jarace Walker, who by the end of the year could be their best player because he's got that kind of talent. Now, I don't know if he's going to be, but he certainly has the potential to be.
A lot of contact with Roberts off the rebound. No travel, no foul call. Reynolds is second to the basket for two. Big D-Wade fan, he told us as well growing up. Now loves John Morant. And Steph Curry. That was kind of John-like. Under 2 to go first half. Shedd floats, too strong. Brown ahead of the rebound, and Fleming's got it. For Greer the third. Hesitation, blocked away. Roberts with a swat.
Great move. The help is there for the block.
Walker Jr. left alone, Reynolds in a three. First points of the night from Ramon Walker, Jr. from Pearland, Texas, the Houston area. Foul call.
You see Lynn Greer here makes a great move, but this is what happens when you got that athleticism and everybody is tied together on a string, and that's what Houston is.
Reynolds is second to the free throw line, has one more. Got a bright spot, first half, here for St. Joe's tonight. We said it was yesterday after practice, we can't be overwhelmed playing the third-ranked team in the country. I'm with you, Lap. Start of this first half was all Houston because of the pace and the turnovers. The zone changed the game.
Yeah, it slowed things down a little bit. They got a little bit more, involved. Now they're back to playing man-to-man, it looks like, on this possession.
Cougars have made 2 of their last 3 threes after missing 11 in a row. Roberts, just over a minute to go, first half. Arsenal foul. Free throws coming up here. A freshman from Beaumont, Texas, Terrence Arsenal. Kacper Kłachik from Poland picks up his first foul for St. Joe's. With 11 games last year, 4 starts, had a facial injury, was out the rest of the year. Kłachik missed the last 19 for St. Joe's. They need everybody full strength to make a big move up in what, as we talked about, is a loaded A10 this year.
When you have a young team, you just got to look to get better and better every day, and that's what they'll hopefully use this year. And there's a long way to go in this game, but use this game as a learning experience. Say, hey, this is what the best in the country do. I mean, this is the first time Houston's ranked in the top 3 in the preseason in 40 years.
How about that? By Slamma Jamma team, 83. Been a while. A miss from Arsenal. An offensive rebound, Juwan Roberts. And another foul call against the Hawks here. 43.1 seconds, first half, first game. Veterans Classic to tip off our great year of college basketball on CBS Sports Network. Hundreds of games left. You'll be doing a lot of Big East basketball.
A lot of Big East I'll be doing, yes. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be at UConn next Tuesday.
Buffalo, UConn, huh? What do you think?
If Buffalo could do something with Adama Sanogo, I mean, he's as good a big man as you're going to find in the country that UConn has.
2 top 15 teams, Big East preseason rankings. They're pretty good, that league. Nova and Creighton. Just getting going with the season. Started Monday. Roberts, the lefty, misses the second free throw. And a foul call over the back, this time on Ramon Walker Jr. of Houston.
You have to think that in the Big East, everybody's got to be saying, now's our chance. You know, now that Jay left, and I'm not saying Kyle's not going to do a great job, but I think the other coaches in that league are probably, plus now you added Thad Matta, you added Sean Miller. You know what I mean? That's, I'm sure everybody's looking at it the same way. Jay's gone now, let's try and do something. So, and that's going to make Kyle's job that much more difficult.
No doubt.
And following him is not going to be easy as it is.
Watching one more free throw. So you're in Philly. What's everyone saying about Kyle Neptune?
Love him. He's a great guy. He's a great guy. And what he did at Fordham last year was close to a miracle. Now, it's a little different now because then you could be 500 and they want to build a statue of you at Fordham. At Villanova, they got used to Final Fours and national titles. The expectation level is completely different.
Obina, lane violation for St. Joe's. So Wachek's second free throw wiped out. 19-point game, about 40 ticks to go. Fading first half clock here from Navy. The Mids and Princeton, second game tonight. Veterans Classic doubleheader. Navy and Princeton played in the respective conference championship games a year ago. Really good teams. Out of bounds is Emmanuel Sharp, redshirt freshman. Now 11 points against Northern Colorado, a couple rebounds on Monday night. Get some run here, end of the first half for Kelvin Sampson. And that lap is the first Houston turnover of the night.
It's unbelievable. Well, you know, it's not one thing about St. Joe's. They were number 355 last year in forced turnovers with their opponents. So they don't force a lot of turnovers. Obviously, that really shows tonight.
Shot clock turned off. 10 seconds to go first half here from Navy. Obina gathers. Foul first. 7.4 seconds to go. Some contact. Could have been a trap, too.
I think it was a trap. What does he do first? It's close.
Close.
Got fouled first.
Really close. We're talking about the block charge being tough. That travel foul call.
Yeah.
Not easy.
Well,
they're lying for these officials.
Yeah.
Arsenault's second foul, coach, and Obina to the free throw line here. The final moments of the first half tonight from Annapolis. One more free throw. 12 plus points, 8 rebounds a game. Last year for Edge Obina, the Vandy transfer. He played 3 years in the SEC. Talented guy.
He is, and you know, this is an area where he really needs to improve. He shot 49% from the free throw line last year, and he shot 130 free throws. So he's a guy who gets to the line because he's on the offensive glass, got to make free throws.
9 double-doubles, 60th nationally in that stat. He started every game, all 30 for St. Joe's last year. Off the miss, final second.
No excuse for that.
How about Chaney runs the floor, reverse layup with a left hand for 2 to put an exclamation point on a great first half for number 3 Houston.
Off a missed free throw to give up a layup. I don't know if you noticed how Billy Lang walked off the court. He was so annoyed at his team for this play here. Missed free throw, 5 seconds to go, you get a layup.
Gary Parrish joined by Kelvin Sampson.
Kelvin, you're up big at the half. That's the good news. But I know there was a stretch in that first half where you were displeased with what you were seeing. What did you not like?
Well, one of the things about freshmen is they want to do good, they want to do right, but it's the blue-collar things they struggle with. Like, usually a bad shooting night won't hurt us that much because we offensive rebounding so bad, so good. But there was a stretch there when Reggie Chaney and J1 was out, and I had Javier Francis and Jarris Walker in, and they were waiting for those guys to get a rebound. The problem was they were on the bench. No, you guys are in the game, but you have to go rebound. So we're just not there yet. It's going to take some time.
Thank you, Kelvin.
Okay, thank you.
GP, thanks. First ever game, Kelvin Sampson head-to-head with St. Joe's and a 20-point lead at the break. End of the first half coming up. After this, we'll send you back to our New York studio of Brentford. Chris Walker, Pete Young, John Ronke, standing by for AT&T at the half. We're watching college basketball on CBS Sports Network, the 25 home of CBS Sports. Outstanding halftime performance from the United States Naval Academy Silent Drill Team here at Alumni Hall in Annapolis. Outstanding first half for number 3 Houston. They lead by 20 over St. Joe's. Welcome back, Dave, and the coach, Steve Lapis. So they played one game, blew out Northern Colorado Monday in Houston. A half here, but so far, third-ranked team in the nation as advertised, right?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. And the thing is, they do what they do all the time. It starts off with that defense of theirs. They force turnovers, and really not full court pressure, just their pressure in the half court. They protect each other so well. They're on a string. If somebody needs to help, and like most great defensive teams, they do an unbelievable job at helping the helper. That's the key to being great defensively, and this team is great defensively. And now you're going to see here just what they do. They get into passing lanes. Jamal Shead there, one of the best point guards in the country. He shoots the gap as good as anybody, but you've got to get back in transition. 16 fast break points in a half for Houston. 15 points off of turnovers in a half. These are the kind of baskets that you can't give up. You got to try and make this team play in the half court. It's easy for me to say sitting here, believe me. Billy Lange's got his hands full, got a young team, and he's playing against a seasoned bunch that's preseason number 3 in the country, and one of the teams is being talked about to win the whole thing.
Let's go back to our college basketball insider, Gary Parrish.
Well, David, I just talked to Billy Lange, and he said obviously he's not pleased with the halftime score, but he is happy about the way his team showed some fight at the end of that first half. In the final 6 minutes, St. Joseph's outscored Houston 16-15. I asked him if you can take something away from that and build on it. He said, hopefully. Lap, you talked about the zone a lot in the first half. Billy said if the opportunity presents itself in these final 20 minutes, absolutely they'll go back to it.
All right, Gary, thanks very much for that. And 8 different Cougars Lap score in the first half, led by Jarace Walker's 10 points, 12 for Eric Reynolds, the second to lead the Hawks. So, some signs of improvement, right, as Gary said, talking to Billy Lange.
I mean, they settled down a little bit. Let's face it, they were probably nervous in the beginning of the game. And they settled down a little bit. That zone slowed the game down. And this is what you got to make Houston do, is play half court.
Mark steps away and hits. Wow.
I mean, Billy Lange has to be happy with that defensive possession, because they played great defense. He made a tough shot there. What are you going to do?
Reynolds the second. Definitely the bright spot offensively for St. Joe's first half. Trouble with the handle. Then left alone, left the lane. Can't click from 3. Quachik, offensive rebound. Had a block though. Look at Sasser doing everything. All for Shead. Uncharacteristic miscue there from Jamal Shead. Falco, Greer the third. And behind the play, Roberts shaking up for Houston. 2 fouls, Tremont Mark. 23 minutes in that opener with Northern Colorado on Monday. He'll take a seat with a 3. And Walker's right back in here for Houston. Ramon Walker had reattachment surgery in his hand. He was cleared the morning of December 23rd that Kelvin told us about. Coach Sampson this morning at the shoot-around. Really, he should have been out for the year. But because of the injuries, good drive to the basket there. As Greer the third has got a nice bucket. Sasser was out. It was really a necessity, Coach, that Walker play last year.
Oh, absolutely. He came in at the right time. They needed him, that's for sure.
Walker, the take for 2.
And this guy goes off the dribble, he shoots threes, he's 6'8", he's athletic.
We've seen a little bit of everything tonight from Jarace Walker, Steve. I'm impressed.
And wait till you see him at the end of the year, probably.
Just getting started. Second career game here tonight for Jarace Walker, the 5-star recruit. Tip up nearly went in. Off the hand there of Juwan Roberts of Houston. That's out of bounds.
Let's take a look at this drive here. What happens is the Houston guys get caught up on this screen. Stop it right there. Right here, gets caught up, and Jarace Walker makes a young mistake, doesn't recover in time to stop that drive.
We just know it'll be a teaching point in the film session with Coach Sampson and his staff. Son Kellen as well.
Wow, that was
Watch
something.
out. Great hustle. All the ball kids got up in there on the baseline. Hope everyone's okay. Great hustle from Walker Jr.
That really was. I mean, this is some serious hustle. He goes between two guys, and he almost gets it.
So that game in question with Walker Jr. had the injury, played anyway. That was against Temple, and Coach Sampson said that might have been the most impressive win of the season with Sasser out for the year and the recovery that Houston made en route to the Elite Eight.
Yeah, he thought that was a tough offensive foul. Yes, Kelvin Sampson talked about that game, but you see here, Ramon Walker really does a good job of holding his space on defense.
Third foul on Cameron Brown, senior for St. Joe's. His first career double-double against Richmond in A-10 play last year.
Little 2-2-1 press from St. Joe's, just trying to slow Houston down, make him use some clock.
You like that move from Coach Lang?
Yeah, I like trying anything to try and keep this team off balance.
Walker baseline. Can't click. Front iron miss. Kwachik defensive glass for St. Joe's. Here's Brown. Now 3 Hawk captains this year. With Eric Reynolds a second. Big first half. Kwachik a valuable role for the Hawks this season. Cameron Brown not this time from deep. And Shed foul. Reynolds the second.
Could have been a travel before the foul. Oh yeah, that's a travel.
4 fouls on Reynolds, coach. That hurt St. Joe's.
Yeah, the travel was first.
Talking about it first half, sometimes that block charge is tough for the officials. This has been a travel charge. We've seen it a couple times that have been tight. Let's go back to Gary talking about this floor here tonight, Rick. A lot of action for the ball kids.
You know, Dave, I talked to a facility official in the first half and asked about the floor because you're seeing it get wiped down pretty consistently, and as you guys know, it's been raining here all day long. I was told there is nothing unusual with the floor. They're just under orders to get out there and wipe it as often as possible.
Well, that's good that there's not a condensation problem, but obviously there's no ice under here, so obviously that makes a difference, but that's good news.
Safety first, right, GP, no doubt. On the tail end of what was once hurricane, tropical storm. Nicole has spun its way up here to Annapolis, and it poured all day. I mean, really hard rain, lots of wind. 8 to shoot for Walker. Here's Sasser. Had a great start. Quiet sense, Shed, corner, too strong on 3.
Great boxing out there by St. Joe's.
Greer the third, rebound and run out for the Hawks. Nice hesitation, but he lost it on the way up. Walker bothered him, Shed other end, and he and Winborn come together for a fight.
He went a long way on that slide. This kid loves to attack. The ball boys are getting a lot of action.
Plenty. And that continues here.
Not only wiping up, almost getting taken out.
Sasser, Chet, such a big part of that run last couple of years. Sasser did test the NBA waters, has an agent, and decided it was best to come back. He wasn't going to be a top 30 pick. Foul call down low. Good hustler for Greer the third. Preseason first-team All-American. Preseason American Conference Player of the Year. He's a good one as we check out that first team.
Well, there's something you don't see very often. You got basically 4 centers and Marcus Sasser a 2 guard. So it is definitely the year of the big man. But Marcus Sasser, 12 games last year. This guy is such a good player, such a good shooter that, and he can do a lot off the bounce also.
How long has Timmy been around in Spokane? Forever. I mean, Super Seniors Coach year, I know, but man,
I think
these guys have played a long time.
I think he's a prime example of a guy who 2 years ago would definitely have gone, but now with the NIL, he's doing pretty well out there in Spokane. You know, he's on like commercials left and right. I've seen him, I've been out there. So a kid like that who's doing well with NIL, why go to the NBA? And people have doubts about him. I think he's a terrific player, but there's some doubts about him athletically and things like that. But so the NIL keeps guys around a little longer. Same thing with Sheway at Kentucky. Normally that kid would have been gone 2 years ago.
Well, it's great for college basketball fans to have those big stars stay. And they're both preseason first-team AP All-Americans. 20-point game, timeout in Annapolis.
Stories connect us to our past, and we share them with children to shape our future. We believe in authentic stories. Share yours.
Welcome back to the 9th annual Veterans Classic. Dave Ryan, Steve Lapis, Gary Parrish, our college basketball insider. Courtside with you here at Alumni Hall, Naval Academy in Annapolis. This event started in 2014. Honor around Veterans Day to honor veterans of all service branches, showcasing the nation's veterans and daily life of the Naval Academy through guided tours. And 3 teams took yesterday. Amazing experience, capped off by a Navy SEAL speech, incredibly inspirational. Dinner at the superintendent's house here on the yard in Annapolis. And on the court, Cougars look good. 20 against St. Joe's of the A-10.
Good trap there on that handoff.
Mark 10 on the timer.
Great defensive possession.
And Walker lost it, taking a good play there by Winborn. He's played well defensively in the second half. A couple of good stops engineered by the freshman guard. Spin move for 2. Greer the third, that looked good.
Yeah, Lynn Greer has shown really an ability to get to the baskets, had some great moves going to the hole. That was one of them.
10 games at Dayton, 2.5 points, just over a rebound per game as a Flyer. Dad Lynn, Temple's second all-time leading scorer. Coach Lapp talked about that. He knows a lot about Lynn.
Yes, too much.
Too much. Walker, the freshman. Mark in the paint.
Tough shot. I mean, Houston has made a couple of tough shots here in the second half. So I'll say that St. Joe's half-court defense in the second half has been much, much better. The man-to-man. They played a decent zone in the first half, but this man-to-man has been better in the second half.
Mark's bucket ends a 3-minute scoreless drought for Houston. So a healthy lead here in the second half.
Good pass.
What's a good pass? Fleming takes advantage.
I like this kid, freshman. Sheer Fleming is going to be a good player. 6'8", active. Obviously, he's shown the ability to make jump shots.
Houston responds. Walker elevates, head block. Kotzberg, Kwachik, thought he had all ball. Official disagree. It's a free throws here for the freshman Walker.
Oh, wow. That is as clean as it gets. That is a tremendous block. That is not even close.
Hence the reaction there from Kotzberg, Kwachik, and Billy Langers. Look at the replay saying, come on. It was clean.
You just gotta, you gotta be careful, because the one thing that they make a point of, you're allowed to have a tablet on the bench now. Now, I'm not saying that's what happened, and the one thing that they did put in the rules is if you take the tablet and you show the referee that the call that he made was wrong, you're getting teed automatically. The other thing is, don't point to the video board if you're Billy Lang, because that can get you teed up quick too. But I give the referees credit. I think he knew he made a mistake and he wasn't looking at it.
Was that a ball don't lie moment on a missed free throw and then Walker fouls him?
Yeah, it was one of those.
Kind of had that feel, didn't it, Lapp?
It definitely did.
Greer the third. Here's Kwachik thinking about a 3-ball. One arm is short. And Walker handled the rebound, battling down low along with Cheney. He's back in the game for Houston. 2 fouls, Rasheer Fleming, coach.
And, this is early in the season for the referees, too. We got to keep that in mind also.
Great point. Mark harassed. Backcourt turns it over. Trying to find Sasser nowhere near the basketball there. And right back to St. Joe's with some good pressure.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, St. Joe's right now is outplaying Houston. They come with this full court pressure. Trayvon Mark with an uncharacteristic mistake.
Billy Lang emphasized to us, both in practice yesterday and shoot-around this morning, that rebounding will be so big. They're actually out-rebounding Houston right now.
Yeah, I mean, in the second half, they have not gotten hurt. And a couple of the baskets that Houston made were tough shots in the lane.
Towards the 25-23 in favor of the Hawks. Watch it. To the basket. Foul. Look at a challenge, Reggie Chaney. And he'll shoot some free throws.
If this kid can make that three-point shot like he just missed consistently, and he is a good three-point shooter. Didn't make any last year, but he was hurt most of the year. Made one in their exhibition games. Got to make these. I mean, they're trying to hang in there.
Krawczyk went to high school on Long Island. From Poland, as we talked about, silver medal 2019 U18 championship for Team Poland. Played U16, U14 as well. So long-time national team member. And trying to bring some contribution, production for St. Joe's this year. Look at the ball movement. Good press break. Walker battles out. Mark trying to follow. Foul.
Great recovery by St. Joe's. I mean, they're settling in a little bit now. That was a really good pressure set of defense where they recovered, were active. They do a great job here of being aggressive against that. It's a good place to try and get a trap. A good recovery there. And a good box out by Rasheer Fleming.
And Marks picks up his 4th foul. So he's out. 15th foul.
They played much better in the second half.
No doubt about it. It's a big improvement. Foul trouble.
And they're playing without maybe their best player in Reynolds.
Brown lost his footing.
That's a bad mistake.
Walker Jr., great hustle, but it's out of bounds off his hand as he tried to get up. It's right back to St. Joe's. Fresh 20 here. And the possession change.
One thing you don't want to do against Houston is drive into traffic because they're so quick and they have such quick hands and they're long. Traffic is not what you want against them. You want space.
St. Joe's out rebounding Houston. We told you about that. Outscoring them in the second half.
He slipped again.
Yeah, same spot, boy. Really struggling here. And the ball kids have come right back out. They have been busy all night. Krawczyk's testing the leg to make sure he didn't pull a muscle.
Yeah, that's good they didn't call a travel there either because, I mean, obviously, technically it would be a travel, but the floor is wet. I don't know. This floor is I mean, to say that there's got to be some condensation. I mean, it's not normal what we've seen in the last couple of minutes in that one spot.
Same spot, exactly. Been a factor pretty much all night. Mentioned the heavy rains in Annapolis due to the tail end of the tropical storm. Nicole spinning up the East Coast, but you can't see any kind of leak in the roof. That's good news in Alumni Hall. Nothing like that. Officials will discuss. What can they do at this point, Lab?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there isn't much they can do. I mean, obviously, you don't want any of these kids to get hurt. That's obviously the #1 priority here. And that's what, I don't know, they're meeting there.
Pat Driscoll, Lyle Ritecki, Rob Riley. The court officiating crew here tonight in Annapolis. We've had lots of play stoppages due to slippery conditions.
I mean, let's face it, Krawczyk, he could have got hurt there, without a question. Your knee can go in a second on like that.
The sophomore from Poland missed the last 19 games of last season with the injury I told you about. The last thing Billy Lang wants to see is a key piece of the Hawk attack this year hurt in the opener. All right, head coaches, officials have finished their meeting. And now,
I wonder what they were talking about.
Possibly some building supervisors as well getting involved. We know one thing about the St. Joe's mascot, that the Hawk never dies. Frank Sorochin was last year. He's this year. Alec Kerr is the new Hawk. We've had lots of slips and spins on the court here tonight. The Hawk mascot always moves. At least one wing is constantly moving. Gary, what are you hearing about the court here?
The officials told both coaches, Billy Lang and Kelvin Sampson, that there is some condensation problem. They're not sure why or where it's originating from, but it's clearly an issue at this point. They are considering stopping the game, but for now, they're going to keep trying to play.
Wow.
A lot of basketball to play here in the second half, and the second game with Navy and Princeton still to come.
I mean, it is a little warm out. There's no doubt about it. Look at these kids. I mean, this is...
It's unusual. And more folk coming in. Reinforcements. I've never seen it before that. I've never seen that many. Ball kids, student managers, everyone else helping out. Pat Driscoll coming over here. What did Pat Driscoll tell you?
Yeah, I just talked to Pat Driscoll. He said we talked to both coaches, and we're going to try and play, but in the end, we're going to do what we have to do to protect the student athletes. So this game being canceled is a possibility.
Wow. You see Billy Lang out there at midcourt. He's doing the sneaker check. Of course, safety of the players is first and foremost, but what a shame for the season opener for St. Joe's in Game 2 for Houston.
And I've been here for 9 years, and I've been here when it was 70 degrees out and, you know, unseasonably warm, and never had this.
All right, we resume. For how long, we're not sure. Hopefully the rest of the second half.
Well, I can tell you, if somebody slips again, it's going to be a problem.
Chet, 9 of the timer. Krawczyk the help. 6 to shoot for Sasser. Here's the All-American to the basket. Lost on the way up. Fleming a piece of it. And the players on the court, you know what that means. Tie up and shot clock violation first. And here come the ball kids.
Wow, this is...
It's a legion.
Now that's a squad.
It's a brigade. Here on the Naval Academy.
That was the way to put it, Dave, for where we are.
Goodness.
I'll tell you what, not to take away from what I don't want to take away from what St. Joe's has done in this half from a basketball standpoint. That was another great defensive stand there. Shot clock violation.
A lot of improvement. Cameron Brown gets a little treatment. Equipment folks for St. Joe's help him out. He's ready to resume. Let's hope we get the second half in here.
Yeah, and I'm going to say a combination of things. I think Houston's lost a little bit of their edge, which happens when you're up 20, but you can't do that. That's a good move.
Good take, Fleming. Rasheer Fleming shoots 2 here for St. Joe's. It's still a 17-point gap.
Yeah.
But St. Joe's has played much better in the second half.
And I think that if you're Billy Lang, that's what you're looking for at halftime, for you guys to just, don't quit. Just let's go out there and let's play. And they have definitely done that in the second half. Down 20, they easily could have folded the tents, and they did not. And they're playing pretty good right now.
Nice game tonight for Asheer Fleming. One more free throw.
I like this kid.
Me too. Couple threes, 9 points. Dana White served in the United States Army. Thank her for her service. All the veterans here at the Veterans Classic. This is dedicated to you. Protect our nation's freedom. Nothing more important. Sasser the rebound. Fleming misses the second free throw.
I know Billy Lang would love to see this thing get to 10.
Sasser's been really quiet since a great start. He and Shed, the All-American duo in the backcourt. 10 to shoot.
A lot of standing around for Houston right now.
Sasser slipped on the way to the basket. The runner too strong. Fresh 20. Shed up top. Walker thought about a three.
And this defense has been all man-to-man in the second half. This tough matchup here. Fleming and Shed.
In the corner, Sasser can't click on a three. Fleming the rebound, nearly walked. And Quachik has it baseline. Bad bounce pass, the trailer Fleming, it's out of bounds. And we've got a timeout from Annapolis. The Veterans Classic underway. Houston still enjoying a big lead tonight. All right, Coach, take a look at the play of the game. Brought to you by Jeep here tonight.
Well, a lot of stuff has been going on for Houston. Great dunk by Chaney there. Out in transition in the first half when they were getting out there a lot more. Not getting as many of those in the second half, but that was a heck of a play.
I didn't think he had the angle or the time to get up the way he did. Man, that was a quick elevation and definitely worthy of the Jeep play of the game from Reggie Chaney, the Arkansas transfer. Well, ball kids, student managers, even assistant coaches are out there right now. Everyone is trying to keep the floor safe for the players. Yeah, compensation's been an issue.
Yeah, it just takes one slip.
Quachik inbound. Houston 6 second half turnovers, 6 fouls. Hot played a great second half after an outstanding opening 20. Led by a 46-26 score. That's been a quiet second half. We've got another timeout. Full media timeout, this time in Annapolis. St. Joe's trying to make a big comeback tonight. Such a special event. Veterans Classic here in Annapolis. Some of the brigade of midshipmen are here. You've been here lapped many times. There's nothing quite like this place.
No, it's a great place to be. I played here once as a head coach when I was at Manhattan College back in 1990. When this building really had just opened, I believe. And what a beautiful campus and beautiful place. Love coming to Annapolis. Lousy day today because of the weather, but normally on a sunny day, boy, you can't beat it.
It was fabulous here yesterday. Not so much today. 11-7. The Hawks are outscoring Houston in the second half. Been a quiet offensive second half for each. Fleming the stick back. Quachik and a foul call. Quachik shoots 2. I'm with you. I like Fleming a lot.
Yeah, and you know what? When you take a look at St. Joe's, I mean, according to Billy Lang, he said this kid Esa Doko, that's sitting out, that didn't get a waiver, who's 7 foot 285, is an NBA player, not playing. Couldn't get a waiver from the NCAA, and he's really high. And he said flat out he's an NBA player. I tell you what, he looks like one, 7 foot 285.
Impressive to watch him practice. Unfortunately for the Hawks, only a practice player this year. France. Quachik from Poland. Couple free throws. All right, it's 14. Sasser and company with Shed. Trailing, thought about a 3.
St. Joe's has settled in really nicely. Got to give Billy Lang a lot of credit.
Cougars offense second half has been stuck in first gear here. There's nothing going.
No half court. Well, you know what it is? That's what you can't do.
Stick back, second chance points, and Roberts' chance for a three-point play. That was special.
You know, there were times I would try to show my team, Dave, that how about this? We got this team shooting 20% on their first shot, but you got to finish off the play. So our defense initially is good. We just got to finish it off by rebounding the ball. That was another good defensive set. Gave up a second shot and won. Right now, what you're seeing, though, is you're seeing Houston half-court offense. Not great, and that really what hurt them at the end of last year. They couldn't score in the half court. When Villanova got them in a half-court game, they were great defensively, but scoring in the half court, not their strength.
Three-point play. Roberts double figures. He's got 12 points. Whistle stops play. Walker 13 and Mark 10. The three double-figure scores for Houston tonight. So your final four picks are?
You know, Kentucky, Gonzaga, North Carolina, Creighton. Gonzaga with Drew Timme, Rasir Bolton, Julian Strother. I mean, they have a lot back from last year. The Tar Heels lost Grady Manick, but they bring in Nance from Northwestern, who's a stretch four. So you got to think that they're going to be pretty good. Caleb Love and R.J. Davis, pretty good backcourt. So,
Gary, how about your picks?
I've got it, Gonzaga, North Carolina, Houston, and Kentucky. Those are, I think, on paper, heading into the season, the four best teams in the country. But it should be noted, the Zags are down right now at the half to Michigan State.
UNC is also trailing at the half tonight.
Well, you know what? I mean, I'm really high on this Creighton team. What they did to Kansas last year with two of their best players hurt. Ryan Nembhard, if you didn't see him, he got hurt at the end of last year. He's a point guard, rookie of the year in the Big East. He's a tremendous player. Andrew Nembhard's brother from Gonzaga.
Project too strong for three. Follow the miss. Almost grabbed it. Fleming slow to get up.
You know, they got Ryan Kalkbrenner. This is what you can't do.
Walker by himself for another hammer dunk. And Fleming is hurt.
Oh, they don't need that. This kid was looking good. Looks like an ankle.
Right side of your screen, let's see what happens.
He stepped on a foot. He stepped on Roberts' foot.
Charleston leads UNC at halftime. Charleston lead Colonial, by the way, 50-43. That's a score to keep an eye on. Fleming shaking up.
I did that game last year in college at the College of Charleston, and College of Charleston had them down big in the first half. That was before we knew how good Caleb Love and R.J. Davis really were. Armando Bacot we knew was good.
Back to the Hawks here, down 18. Glimmers of hope in the second half. Quachik, Winborn, freshman, way strong on a three. Had a couple chances. Yeah, need to make some noise here. Able to really throw that punch that could put a scare in the Cougars. Shed the handle. Walker baseline. Chance for a three-point play.
This kid's pretty good too, by the way. And this is a heck of a move here with the left hand. Great finish.
Two fouls now on Lynn Greer III of St. Joe's.
This kid is a fourth very good perimeter player. Got 3 or 4 good big kids. They got a solid 8.
Dan Ramon playing the NFL. All-decade team at Pitt. Great defensive back for the Pitt Panthers. College football star. Kelvin Sampson is raving about some of his players' families like Walker.
That was a bad play by Reynolds. That's going into traffic.
Shed will finish. No, not finish on the other end. Walker the hustle. Winborn finds a loose change instead. Shocking miss by Shed in transition. Winborn, tough shot. Falling away, baseline, wild looking attempt falls. First 2 of the game for Christian Winborn. 1 for 7 from the field. Does have 4 rebounds tonight. Freshman in his debut. On the other end, Roberts. Chance for a three-point play.
Little pick and roll action. Get it to Roberts on one bounce, and he finishes. Just jumps over everybody.
MGK Obina, big man, star St. Joe's, picks up his first foul. Free throw here for Roberts. Career best 12 points, 6 rebounds. Northern Colorado, career best 6 field goals made in that game Monday night. Not close. This one's been much closer against St. Joe's of the A-10. Back to Gary.
I talked to the St. Joe's staff. It is an ankle injury with Rasheer Fleming. The severity of it is unclear, but for whatever it's worth, Billy Lang, the head coach, looked at Rasheer, asked him, "Are you okay?" And he shook his head yes.
Okay, well, obviously that's very important for this kid to play in as many games as he can. I think he's got a lot of potential. He's one of the reasons why this team is going to get better as the year goes on.
Winborn the miss. Rubina had a point-blank follow attempt. He couldn't click. So it's back to the Cougars here. Just over 10 to shoot this possession. Reynolds the second. Quick hands. Sasser for Walker. Count it. And one. Chance for a 4-point play from Ramon Walker Jr. of Houston. And the Cougars separate again.
All kinds of depth. Good pass there by Marcus Sasser, the shooter. Houston back up 24.
Fans having some fun here tonight. Houston up big on St. Joseph's of the Atlantic 10. Cougars last year, Elite 8 run, 32 wins, one shy of tying the program record. Fleming, as Gary pointed out, ankle injury. Does not look like he's ready to return anytime soon. I can't imagine Billy Lang would take a chance with him at this point.
No. I mean, he's already seen this kid do some good things in this game to build off. Long year ahead.
17 minutes, 9.7 rebounds for Fleming tonight. With a couple threes. And shaken up, as we saw a moment ago. Houston with 3 and 1s in their last 6 possessions. And made 5 of their last 6 to heat up a little bit here and put the lead up to 25. Reynolds been pretty quiet overall. Really good start. Does have double figures tonight. Coming up next, get through Tournament Inside College Basketball. 2022-23 college hoop season tips off, from highlights of tonight's classic to expert analysis and predictions. Don't want to miss a minute of the excitement right here on CBS Sports Network. And wait. Princeton Navy to follow here. Tonight's second game of the doubleheader in the 9th annual Veterans Classic. Great hoops at a great place on Veterans Day. And we thank those who served and who have. One more free throw for the senior Cameron Brown. Here's that. Another 7.5 to go. See what Houston can do here. That's what they do. Look at the feed, the cut. Roberts, the big hammer.
I mean, they just let Shed drive all the way to the basket.
And Shed's shaken up. He took a shot to the face. That banked in a long 3. Reynolds the second, the deep triple. And Shed's hurting a little bit here for Houston. It's been a physical game tonight. Mark's got the handle. Here's Shed. Apparently he's all right. Sasser. Tremont Mark, 8 to shoot. Sasser up top. Challenged by Winborn, who helped make that an air ball, but it's followed up and in by Jarris Walker. Spectacular play. freshman, a big game tonight. Brown other end, thinking three, too strong.
Yeah, Jarris Walker didn't play well the first game, but he showed himself well tonight.
17 points for the freshman, 6 rebounds, 7 of 11 shooting, better than his debut against Northern Colorado. On the other end, 3 from Tremont Martin, rattles out. Rebound for Brown. To the 10. Good follow there for Quachik. Had a lot of injuries tonight, Steve.
Yes.
Cameron Brown.
Hopefully he didn't slip.
Already Rasheer Fleming left with an ankle injury. It was not related to the court conditions.
Maybe this looks like a cramp.
Yeah, nothing to do with the court.
No.
Goes down to the drive of the basket. Hotspur Quachik on the follow two for the Hawks.
Just the way they're rubbing his leg. Looks like a...
St. Joe's losing their 2 top scorers, Jordan Hall, off to the pros, Taylor Funk. They lost a combined 27.3 points a game from an 11-win team. So a lot of building to do for Billy Lang this year.
Hey, Taylor Funk, he had a big game the other day for Utah State.
Right.
Big kid, 6'8", 6'9", that can really shoot threes, which fit in very well with what Billy Lang wants to do. That's when Quachik has to come in, be a big, like a power forward who can make threes.
Utah State played here last year. They beat Richmond in the Veterans Classic by 11. And Virginia Tech beat Navy by 20. 3 of the 4 teams played the postseason. Came out of this event. There have been Final Four teams that come out of the Veterans Classic. A lot of NBA guys.
Yeah.
Amazing talent over the years have come to Annapolis.
Yeah, we had Michigan State here a few years ago. Navy had them on the ropes with 2 minutes to go in the game. And they went to the Final Four that year.
64-59 win for Spartans that year over the Mids. Florida's been here. Auburn, Final Four year. Wichita State, Alabama, Memphis. Really great teams have come through. This year's highlight certainly is Houston, 3rd ranked in the first AP Top 25 poll of the season. 2nd game of the year. Shed the handle. Watched by Reynolds the second. The help from Obina. Someone's open, and the easy layup for Roberts.
Well, they pull a double team on him, but nobody rotated inside on that guy cutting to the basket.
19 tonight for Roberts. That leads all scorers. 8 of 9 shooting. 17 for Walker. That's a new career best in his 2nd ever game as a Cougar. Mark's got 10. Winborn other end floats too strong. Took a shot. Physically, that is. And no foul, no whistle. Here comes Houston. Cougars 7 of the last 10 for the field. Warming up after a really sluggish start to the 2nd half. Mark to the basket. Can't get it all this time. Recovered. Roberts finds it. Shed left alone. Declines a 3. Ten to shoot here for Houston. Here's Walker. Floats and hits.
Made it look easy.
Oh, man. Pretty smooth. Steve Lapis.
The 6'8" man.
He's got it all. We're seeing the McDonald's All-American, the 5-star in that young man. Reynolds is second. Nice looking shot. Pulls up, hits for 10. Preseason all A-10. Averaged 14.5 points per game last year in league play. Billy Lang can rely on Eric Reynolds to have a huge season. If Hawks going to make a move in the stacked A-10.
Well, put it this way, the best chance you have of making a big move is from freshman to sophomore year, so I'm sure that's what they're expecting.
5 to shoot here, partner for Shed. Floats. No roll this time. Hotspur Kwachik has the rebound offensively for St. Joe's. Signs of brilliance tonight for Houston.
Oh, you saw that
pass coming. Got in front of Winborn. Check with Walker. Look out below! Oh, baby! Jarace Walker. Alley-oop hammer slam. That was special for Houston. Rim rocker. This kid's a 5-star, all right. Wow. Big lead here for Houston. On-court officiating crew again meeting with the coaches. Gary is right next to the huddle. What are you hearing, Gary?
The officials are absolutely suggesting that this game should end, but they are still talking it over right now with Billy and Kelvin. It seems unclear where we're going, but the officials have suggested it might be time to stop this.
Wow. 3:24 to go. Second half. It's a huge Houston lead. Remember, we have Navy Princeton still to follow here tonight. The second game of the Veterans Classic. There's Gary right in with the meeting. It's Chet Gladchuk. He's the athletic director here at Navy. Of course, concerned with the facilities and player safety first. Back to Gary.
Again, the officials have suggested, certainly raised the possibility of ending this game right here. They don't want anybody getting hurt. Kelvin Sampson, Billy Lange both want to continue playing. They feel comfortable with the situation, so we're going to try to finish this.
Okay, well, I mean, the coaches obviously don't want their kids to get hurt either, so they must feel like it's okay. I know Wally Witecki just looked at me now, like, gave me a face like, I don't know. Tough situation.
But the officials could call a game, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Their power, their control.
They don't have,
if they
don't have to get permission from the coach.
Right, right. Interesting. That's great reporting from Gary right there. Listening into the huddle and the meeting going on. At 26 with 3.5 to go. So at what point would you take your starters out here, Steve?
Well, I would take them out now for sure. I don't know why these kids are in the game. You know, you got Marks in the game, Sheds in the game. You know,
Anton Jansen from Sweden, one of the captains. Handles here for Kwachik. Back to Gary.
One of the reasons it appears the coaches want to continue playing is because Billy Lange doesn't necessarily mind a loss to Houston. He understands that this is one of the best teams in the country. It doesn't hurt the resume. On the other side, if this game were to be suspended at this point, it is not a massive blowout victory for the Houston Cougars. It doesn't record as a win at all, and it appears, at least on some level, that is factored into the rationale here.
Well, it's not a win? Wow. Then I wouldn't stop either. I mean, now obviously you're not going to sacrifice the kids, but wow, I didn't realize that. I thought that if they stopped the game, it was going to be a win for Houston.
Lap, you might be right there. That is not what the coaches believe at this moment, though.
Oh, well, that tells you why they don't want to stop. But
Foul call, great hustle. Players on the court. It's been happening all night with these tricky conditions. So everyone with a towel in the arena is out there to try to make it safe for the players on the court. Big night for Walker. He has been impressive, Steve. No doubt 21 points tonight.
yeah, I mean, the kid went 3 for 14 his first game against Northern Colorado, but he's been there from the beginning of this game. He was probably upset. He probably had never played a game like he played against Northern Colorado in his life. And but that's what playing in college is. You're not playing against high school kids anymore. You're playing against men, and there's an adjustment period. It took him all of one game to make an adjustment.
Pretty good tonight. Here's Lewis Bleachmore from Australia. Does not get the roll. He's got one more free throw. Kelvin Sampson told us today that he is the most coachable player Jarace Walker has ever been around. That includes first-team All-American Marcus Sasser. His dad's a police chief in Dallas. Incredible family. But Walker takes the coaching, no matter how Vocal it can be, and it can be aggressive, no doubt about that.
It can be vocal, there's no doubt.
And he moves on. That's something that Kelvin Sampson and staff really admire about Jarace Walker. Just getting started. Jansen trying to find a loose change. Arsenault back in the game for Houston. Misfires. It's out of bounds. And let's get it back here.
Yeah, I just got a clarification from the referee. I said, if the game were stopped now, would it be a win for Houston? He said, no, not necessarily. That would have to be decided by somebody else. It's up to us to just do what's right for the kids. After that, we're out of it. Wow. So I didn't realize that. I mean, obviously, situations come up very often.
Quinn Berger of the game for St. Joe's. Misfires, too strong on a 3. Rebound for Emmanuel Sharp. Career high 11 points against Northern Colorado. Redshirt freshman from Tampa.
I'm going to guess the league would declare it a win, I would think, but it's not up to the referee, which surprises me. Does it surprise you?
Yeah. Sharp to miss for an iron here. Well, a $1:40 to go. Got to finish at this point.
Yeah.
Just get it in the books officially. Now, which league? Patriot League, Atlantic 10, American Conference?
Let's face it.
If you're the host institution?
If you're doing the right thing, obviously Houston's gonna won the game. You know what I mean? If you're doing the right thing, if everybody's doing the right thing, but I guess it's more complicated than that.
Minute 50 to go, standing between Kelvin Sampson and career win number 701 and 201 as a Houston head coach. What a job he's done. Incredible job leading that program. 33rd Division I coach, 700 wins. 3-time American Conference Coach of the Year. About to be off to a 2-0 start on a brand new season. Picked to win the American again. Talk about Memphis being a pretty good team. We'll see them Tuesday against St. Louis on CBS Sports Network. Navy, their home building, getting set to take the court, take on Ivy League tournament finalist Princeton. They won the regular season a year ago. Princeton went to the NIT. Navy played in the Patriot League tournament championship game, lost to Colgate. Whistle stops play with 55.6 to go. We're talking about the American Conference. Kendrick Davis, big story, transfers as player of the year from SMU to Memphis. The new transfer rules, the portal, NIL, things have changed so much within the same conference. Guys are moving around.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, look, I'm not a big fan, what can I tell you? I know everybody says, you know, player freedom, I get it. Players could always transfer. They had to sit out of here. Leave. Nobody ever going to stop you from leaving, but that was the rule. Now it's like, go anywhere you want, when you want.
1,400 transfers, 20% in the offseason.
I don't know how you build a program, which we talked about with Billy Lang today. You know, and that's the level that gets pilfered a lot.
New career best, 23 for Walker tonight. 10 of 14 shooting, stick back. And it pretty much puts the exclamation point on an impressive game 2 for Houston this year. Whitmore drive the basket. Big rejection. Javier Francis, the sophomore, with a swap.
He played great in their exhibition games, Whitmore, but he got a little bit of an education today from these guys.
Not quite the same. Clock will run out on Houston's second win of the year. Third-ranked Cougars come to Annapolis and have success against St. Joe's in the Veterans Classic. Unusual game with the play stoppages, but the bottom line is Cougars look pretty good tonight.
Yeah, I mean, they look good. You know, they lost their focus, I think, a little bit in the second half, but you got to give St. Joe's credit for for making them play poorly for, you know, a stretch in the second half. But this is a class team, one of the best teams in the country. You can see why. What I saw today that I didn't realize is how much depth they had. You know, it's one thing to watch them against Northern Colorado on film. Then when you come and see them live here, you see there's a lot more depth than you thought. So, and their perimeter guys are so strong. And Sasha didn't even play that well tonight. He started out well, but didn't play that well. But this is obviously a Final Four contender. But I agree with Kelvin Sampson. You don't know how good they are yet. They're obviously really good. Who knows how good? Not yet, you don't know.
It's early, but a great start. Jarace Walker leads the way, 23 points, 19 for Juwan Roberts. And the other double-figure scorer, Tremont Martin, had 12. Gary joined by Kelvin Sampson.
Kelvin, it was obviously an impressive performance by your guys under some unusual circumstances. Do you have a sense for how close this game was to being stopped?
Oh, twice. The last time at the 3-something, the referee said, I don't want to put anybody in danger. Well, neither do we. But I didn't think it was that point. You know, nobody had done the splits or fallen. But the problem was if you cause it, you know, and the referees are doing their job. They have a hard job because if somebody gets hurt, then they may think it's their responsibility. But I didn't think we're at that point. And the problem with calling it too soon is it becomes a suspended game, which means it goes down as just a no play. You don't get a win or a loss. So I asked Billy. I said, Billy, I don't want anybody to get hurt. He said, I want to keep playing. I said, well, let's keep playing. So,
congrats, Kelvin.
Thank you.
81-55, the final. The Star doubleheader here from Annapolis, the Veterans Classic. Now for Steve Lapis, Gary Parrish, and the entire crew. It's Dave Ryan saying so long. It's been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Back shortly with Game 2 of the doubleheader between Princeton and Navy. For now, we send it to Brentstone, Chris Walker, Pete Gillen, John Rusty in our New York studio for more Inside College Basketball. But our Veterans Classic so long for now from Annapolis. We'll see you soon.